Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Johanna, and today I want to follow up with you on a perfume that I purchased about a year ago, and I did a video on my initial impressions of it and what my hopes were for it. And the perfume is Chantilly by Houbigant originally, and this is the Parfums Parquet version. I also have this is the Eau de Cologne, and I also have the Eau de Parfum. And this little bottle here without a label. So I got these on eBay. They were very reasonably priced. They were really inexpensive, probably less than $30 for these. And this is an 8-ounce bottle. So that was exciting for me because I like to overspray. First, I'll show you the bottle, and there's the label. This is a splash bottle, so it has a screw-off lid and a reduced orifice, which is really helpful. The other bottle doesn't have a reduced orifice. It's just open, which makes it really hard. You have to be more careful when you're splashing it on. So the boxes are from the 1989 to 1993 range of time, and the box is textured. The lace on the box is textured. And this perfume is named after the French Chantilly lace, not the dessert Chantilly, which I believe might have come out later. I don't know, but I know that this is named after the lace instead of the dessert. The perfumer for this fragrance is Marcell Billot, and he was the nose and director of Houbigant at the time in New York. And he was also one of the founders and the first president of the French Society of Perfumers. Chantilly was made for the American market, and so it was meant to be pronounced Chantilly instead of the French pronunciation, Chantilly. This perfume was marketed by Houbigant from 1941 until 1989, and then Parfums Parquet bought it. From 1989 until 1993, it was by Parfums Parquet. And then from 1993 to the present, it's been Dana, as far as I know. And Dana has a few extra notes listed on their version of Chantilly. In 1941, when this fragrance was released, it was intended to be an upscale but accessible perfume for women to be able to buy and wear, or people to buy for women to wear. Ads throughout the years would call this perfume sprayable lingerie. My impressions of the scent of this perfume are bright, citrusy, and the citruses are lemon, some orange oil, and maybe aldehydic with aldehydes, because there's something metallic about it. Also, the lemon can be slightly pithy, which means it smells a little bit like if you were to break into the like chewing seed, a lemon seed. It's a little bit pithy smelling. And then the very next thing that you smell is the carnation, which is spicy, slightly green, and then there is clove in here. So there's clove and carnation, which have a spicy, like a spicy aspect to the floral. It's also powdery, and I believe that comes from the carnation as well. There are other notes listed here that I don't smell, like rose and jasmine. I really don't get that. I don't smell those. Then in the base, there are other notes listed that I don't get. I mainly get vanilla, tonka bean, and musks in the base. In the dry down, the same. I mostly get a vanillic, powdery musk. The citrus sticks around for a long time, which makes me think that it might be from aldehydes. Some aldehydes are citrus-like, and it you know, the citrusy, the very bright, clear citrusy aspect sticks around for a really long time. And of course, the carnation, the spicy carnation, that sticks around for a long time too. And there's supposed to be oak moss in here, but I really don't pick up on oak moss. I think it's really minimal. This was probably meant to be a very light, refreshing fragrance, powdery, feminine, splash on after a bath, before bed. And I think that that's just how I picture it being used, and not animalic, not super resinous. There are resins listed. There's oak moss listed and benzoin, as well as the oak moss. And I really don't even pick up on sandalwood here. And I just get vanilla musk and tonka bean. Tonka bean really just supports the vanilla and blends in with it. Some places I've looked reflect the notes of leather in here. And then I've seen discussions that say, no, they would not have put leather in a women's fragrance that was intended to be like French lace. So, or however, the current version of Dana's Chantilly does list leather in the notes, and I would like to smell that. I haven't smelled that yet. I'd like to smell that to see what that's like. I think it would be good. I think this would benefit from more base notes and mid notes that are more substantial. I think this would benefit from something besides the citrus and the carnation as the main notes in the mid. I think that it would be great if they tried some patchouli or vetiver, maybe. The reason I'm saying that is because I have another fragrance that this reminds me of. And I think that on Fragrantica, it's listed as well as something like the #1 fragrance that Chantilly reminds people of. And that's this one, Shalimar EDP. And this formulation is listed as being launched in 1990. Shalimar was originally launched in 1925, but this formulation was launched in 1990. And so that's the one I have. This is modern. This is purchased in the last 2 or 3 years. And yeah, these do remind me a lot of each other, Shalimar and Chantilly. But there are some major differences. So if you wanted Shalimar, but instead went and got Chantilly because you were expecting something just like Shalimar, you might be disappointed. The way I experienced this Shalimar is lemon, bergamot in the top notes, maybe some orange, and then iris in the mid notes. And the iris is powdery, so that's probably where the powderiness comes from. So you've got iris here, and here you have carnation. Then in the mid notes, you also have, with Shalimar, you also have vetiver and patchouli, which are usually base notes, but they list them as mid notes. And when you spray this, yes, you get the top notes to begin with, and they smell really similar as like when you first spray them. They smell really similar. This one is a lot brighter. And the metallic aspect, okay, comes out here. But this one is also very much similar to that, just not quite as bright, not metallic at all. And then you go to the mid notes very soon after. And I believe that's where the patchouli and the vetiver come in. This one also has, besides the iris, it has rose and jasmine. I don't pick up on those, but my nose is very insensitive to those florals, I think. So that's that. And then there are a lot of base notes in here that I do smell. And that is the big difference. This one is like more meaty. This fragrance is more meaty. I smell leather in here very, very soon after spraying it. And I don't get anything resinous at all in the Chantilly. And there is oak moss in here. There's civet in here. And there's vanilla, musk, tonka bean, just like that one. But they're balanced out a lot more by the resins and the earthy notes, like the oak moss and the leather. This one also has incense and a popinax. A popinax is also called myrrh. So they're in here and they all blend together to create a really nice, warm base that sticks around for a long time and I believe could be pretty addictive. This dry down is not addictive because it's so mild. It's just vanilla, tonka bean, and musk. And the musks are very mild, lighter type of musks. So mainly, you know, if you want a citrus fragrance that's light and refreshing, almost sparkling, this one might be great for you. But if you really want something that's going to have a dry down, that's going to be intriguing and warm and sensual, then I think you got to go for Shalimar of these two when comparing these two, because this one is definitely worth paying more for it. I'm not crazy about the citrus in here. I'm not crazy about. In fact, I'm not even crazy about the citrus in here, to be perfectly honest. I'm not into that bright citrus the way that it's done here. It's distracting for me. Maybe there should be more orange in it. There's supposed to be neroli in here. You know, neroli, I usually like neroli, but, you know, that's kind of an orangey type note. So I haven't used this a lot. I have tried to use this. I've tried to use this before bed because that's what I spray I spray my perfumes at bedtime the most, because if I want to make perfume during the day, I can't really spray perfume on me. Wear perfume during the day. I'm less likely to wear perfume during the day, more likely to, and always spray before bed at nighttime, so that I can experience it when I'm under the blankets and the warmth is kind of like projecting the fragrance. And I want a warm scent for that. This scent is not warm. This is cool. Lukewarm at most. So that's one big reason that I have a hard time with this. But I've been using this a lot more in the last few days, last week or two, to prepare for this video. And so I have been seeing things with this fragrance that I hadn't seen before. And I had been using this one, the Eau de Cologne, thinking it was exactly the same as the Eau de Parfum. But I did find that when I actually applied this Eau de Parfum and compared it on separate wrists, this one does have more of a substantial base and this one does have a better dry down. So then I started to use this one more. I think the Eau de Cologne is better for like if you want just something to splash on after a bath, but you don't really need it to be like, you know, having a base to it. But the Eau de Parfum is more balanced. So that's what I would say about these two. I don't know if there's a difference in the formulation or if it's just a difference in concentration between those two, but I do think the Eau de Parfum is better. Well, I hope this video has been helpful to some people, and if you're interested in getting something similar to Shalimar, but you don't want to break the bank, you might want to purchase one of these older bottles of Chantilly, or even try the newer bottle by Dana and see what that's like. I think it's probably a lot better. I think it's better probably because they added leather to it, which is going to make it more substantial. And I think that's pretty seductive. That just thinking about leather being in this Chantilly would be a pretty seductive combination. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.